Hey folks, welcome back to the kitchen here at Markelly Farm. We're going to have a special treat for you today. We're going to do a recipe from my youngest daughter, Sam. Stick around. We'll show you what it is. Now, if you've eaten all your pickles out of the jar, don't throw your pickle juice away. There's something you can do with it. We are going to make dill pickle chicken. That's right, dill pickle chicken. We're going to take that juice left over from the pickles and we're going to marinate some chicken cutlets with it. We're going to bread them and we're going to fry them. Sounds yummy, huh? Let's get to it. First thing we did is we split our chicken breasts. We butterflied them open so they're not so thick. They're only about 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch thick now. So we're going to take that, we're going to layer that in our gallon Ziploc bag with the rest of our pickle juice and let that marinate for a while. Alright, we got that in the dill pickle marinade. We're going to let this marinate for about 15 minutes or so, and then we're going to flip it over. So about a half hour total, and then we'll continue on our process. So by the way, we got our new gas range in. This is our second new one in a few months. The previous one was a Whirlpool. We had a lot of problems with it. The last time we used the broiler, it almost blew up on us. The door blew open a little bit, and it caught fire on the inside. So it had to go, in my opinion. I'm not going to buy a Whirlpool ever again. So we've got a GE this time. We'll see how that holds up. The guy at the store said if it broke down, he wouldn't be carrying it. So we're going to give her a shot. All right, we're about ready to go on our chicken. So we got our breading station set up. I only did about half of what I normally do because we don't have a lot of chicken here. So I did a 1/2 cup of flour, and to that I put 1.5 teaspoons of my favorite seasoning in there. Because I don't know about your flour, but ours does not come seasoned. And then we have some egg wash, and then we have panko. Now, only use panko if you're doing really thin cuts of chicken. If it's a really thick cut or full-size chicken or bone-in chicken, you don't want to use panko because the panko will burn before your chicken is done. Normally with just regular fried chicken, I'll go with the flour on the wet chicken, and then in the egg wash, then back into the flour for a double flour dip. And that won't burn as fast as the panko will. Now, anything that cooks fast, like onion rings or small cuts of, fillets of meat or something like that, I will use panko because it gives it a real good crispy crunch. And like I said, if it cooks fast, you can use it. Another thing about the panko, if you open a big package or container of panko and you don't use it all, obviously, you want to store it in the freezer because it'll get stale on you like a cracker will. But if you put it in the freezer, it won't do that. Keep it in like an airtight bag. All right, we're going to start breading. Flip my chicken over one time again. Get it opened up. We're going to use our wet fork to get in here and get our chicken. Go right into the flour. And then once it's in the flour, use our dry fork. I can smell that dill pickle flavor on there. We'll get this breaded well. Or not breaded, just coated. And that flour just soaks up some of that liquid. And then into the egg. You get an egg coating on it. And then flip it. Make sure you got egg on all of your meat there. And then once it's got the egg, then we'll go into the panko. Back to our dry fork. Get some panko on top. And then once the panko's on top, we can flip it. Flip it a couple times till it's nice and coated. And then we can shake off the excess and put it in our paper plate here. And we'll do it with the rest of our cutlets. Got all of our fillets or cutlets, whatever you want to call them, breaded with the panko. You can see the messes on our forks and not on our fingers. So we're going to heat up our pan. Kelly's about ready to be home here. So if you're using stainless pan, the secret for not to stick is to get your pan hot and then put your oil in. Then let your oil get hot and then put your food in. And it won't stick. Well, might stick a little, but not a lot. Okay, we'll test our skillet. Get a little water on your finger. Throw it on there. See how they dance around? Your skillet's ready. So let that evaporate real quick. And then we'll go in with our oil. Now our oil is going to cool the pan down. So we need to bring it back up to temperature. Won't take long though, because the pan is good and hot. And then once the oil's back to temp, we're going to turn this down to about a 3 or 4 out of 10. And we'll fry our cutlets. Now to test your oil, throw a little bit of piece of your breading in there. And if it bubbles real good, that means your oil's hot enough. So let's start getting our chicken in there. We're going to lay it away from us as we put it in the oil. And we'll keep putting them in there. We were only able to get 3 of them in there, so we'll have to cook our 4th one when these are done. They won't take long. Now, if you mess with stuff too quick when you're in a stainless steel skillet, it still may stick. You need to wait until it's cooked before you start moving things around. And once it's cooked well, it'll actually release from the skillet itself. Now this is about the level of frying you want to maintain. If it's not doing this, you need to turn it up a little bit. If it's going too hard and spattering and really loud, you need to turn it down, of course. I also forgot to tell you, you want to let your chicken sit breaded for a while, about 5 or 10 minutes. And the breading really adheres to the chicken a lot better. It kind of develops kind of like a glue. And I do the same thing with the flour when I do that. So how to know when to flip? You see how we've got kind of golden brown here around the edges. That means the other side is golden brown. It's time to flip. You can see how our chicken is not sticking. Comes right up. Beautiful golden brown. See, our burner down here is burning blue. That was another problem with our old new stove, was the burners would burn yellow-orange all the time, and they're not supposed to do that. A good stove or a good burner is supposed to burn blue when you're burning propane or natural gas. If it's burning yellow or orange, you're creating carbon monoxide, which is very dangerous. You don't want that building up in your house because it's deadly. So always make sure you got a good blue flame. Now when it's impinging on metal like a pot, you'll see just a little yellow in there, a little flash every now and then. That's not a problem. But if the whole flame is orange yellow, don't use it. There's our beautiful chicken fillets. They're so tender that this one came apart when I was taking it out of the skillet. You can see because we controlled our frying, there's not a bunch of spattered oil all over the place. And then for supper, we're having some Brussels sprouts. I put some butter, salt, and pepper. And we're going to do a little bit of our ranch seasoning. We'll stir that up in there. Now, I don't usually put my cooked chicken when I'm frying on paper towel because that sometimes takes away from the crispiness. I put it on like a cooling rack so the grease can kind of drip through, but you don't get that moisture trapped in there. And then also, any leftover chicken, don't put it in like a Ziploc bag. Put it in a brown paper bag, like a lunch bag, and it'll stay nice and crispy for you. Looks like dinner, folks. Doesn't that look amazing? Let's give it a try. All right, here we go, Sam. Trying your recipe here. Mmm. Nice and crunchy. Mmm. Love it. The pickle juice really doesn't overpower you. It's very subtle, but it lets you know it's there. It's kind of like when you soak your chicken in buttermilk. It gives it a nice little tang. Super good. Mmm. This is definitely going to be a repeat in this kitchen. I just realized this video is going to drop on Christmas Day. So, Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year to you all from Markelly Farm. Hope you have a good one. What do you think of chicken, Cal?
I like it. I like the dill pickle flavor.
Yeah, it left me wanting more dill pickle. So I think next time I'm going to marinate for like an hour.
I'm good with that.
There's another one in there for your lunch if you want tomorrow.
No, I'm going to eat it now.
Ooh, she really likes it. She likes it. Hey, Mikey. There you go, Sam. Fantastic recipe. Thank you for sharing that with us. Definitely going to do it again. And I will marinate it longer in that dill pickle juice because that was fantastic. Now, if you don't have a jar of dill pickles or an empty one, you don't have to have that actually. Pull up any dill pickle recipe for like canning, make the brine like you normally would, boil it a little bit or whatever, and just use that brine. You don't have to have a jar of pickles. So, hope you enjoyed this recipe and I hope you try it because I think you're going to love it. So until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. We love you guys. Come back and see us here at Markelly Farm.